Favorite thing about GDQ, honestly, is just it's a celebration of video games and video game skill. And when you see guys like that in the mystery tournament, you can see how there's just this level of know-how when you can play a game that you've never played before and make it seem like something that you know so familiar. So amazing stuff to all those runners there. All right, but let's continue with the donations over here. MT with $20 says, gotta donate with JC Hensor, reading donations. FGC represent. Also, it's a 100% run, so save those animals. $100 from Omni Sniper. I always love a good mystery tournament, but the bongo drums were cruel. Putting this $100 towards the Super Dram World Special Levels. Gotta see Pooh Bear do it live. And Ramses88, it's gotta be a happy man now. He donated $50.20 and said, let's go Carulius. I believe in the 3-0. Curtis199 with $50. Go speedrunners, go speedrunners, go speedrunners, go. Very, very encouraging to everybody here at GDQ. IOI Caleb, or IOA Caleb, donates $15. Here's rooting for all of the runners. It's been a great week so far to see so many of my favorite games from my childhood. Here's to a great time for all, but a bad time for the Undertale runner. Caller Duran donates $100. Thank you to all of the runners, commentators, announcers, staff, and volunteers for another wonderful event. We've heard from so many donations about the toll cancer takes on people's lives. Education to further early detection and prevention helps us all and is a cause worth supporting. Absolutely agreed. Well said, well said. Ben Silencing with $150. Quick, the games aren't done yet unless you keep up the awesome work. And Garen with $75, longtime watcher, first-time donor. Bletchy announcing has been my favorite part of any run. Kind of wish announcer name shifts were included in the schedule. So it's also nice hearing James outside his normal FGC scene. Thank you. Anyways, putting $50 to the DS3 Princess Glitch exhibition and $25 to name the taking down the super hard genocide boss in Undertale. And some shout outs for the Contra block that's coming up tomorrow. Anonymous with $100 says, did you say Contra? Yeah, that has to happen. And Eternal Grim with $50. Donate for Contra 3. You mean the game that I always raged at when I was a kid? Of course. Let us see this game get destroyed. All right, and now we are going to take it over to the interview where we can talk to Andy, the winner of the mystery tournament.
Hey guys, that was incredible. I'm here with Sant Boney, who helped to organize this and commentated it with me, and Spike, and then Andy, who you just watched tear it up and won the whole thing. Andy, I asked this question before the interview, and I'm going to ask it now. How do?
Feels awesome.
So what is it? You've won the past 3 tournaments. Mm-hmm. You placed in the top 4, obviously, and then once you came here, you destroyed and you took it all. Mm-hmm. What is it? What is it about your gaming style?
Aggressive patience. You want to be patient. You never want to get mad. Never get frustrated. Just relax, take it in stride. Try to have fun with it. Make sure you're just enjoying what you're doing still. You know, take a breath. Just play the game.
Yeah. Play the game at what speed?
As fast as you can without making mistakes.
What do you think are, we saw three different genres here: the Mongo genre, the tilting genre, and then the platforming genre. What would you say are some of your strongest and weakest genres?
Well, platformers are definitely my strongest in general. I grew up on platformers. I'm pretty much adaptable to just about anything because I've been, gaming since I could hold a controller and, got beat by my brother and everything growing up. But, my weaker genre, puzzle games, like if it's a puzzle game where you have to like think on your feet and it's like an action puzzler, I'm fine with. But if it's like Chip's Challenge where you have to think like 30 steps in advance, like a Lolo or anything like that, I'm gonna be like, oh no, here we go.
Do you feel like your success at these is partly due to parts to just like, can you practice for these? Do you just play games a lot, or do you just kind of step in and just get it?
Play games a lot is generally a very good strategy. I have played many different games. I have like 13th most played games on SRL. Like,
Yeah.
I have played a lot of different games.
I mean, Andy not only plays his own matches in Mystery Tournament, he will frequently join everyone's matches just to get more game experience. And I mean, the results show.
It helps.
Were there any points throughout this tournament that we just showed where you were nervous, whether it's like maybe going into the last round after K-Rulius did beat you twice, or maybe after kind of deaths in a particular level in Adventure Island or anything like that?
I felt pretty comfortable with Adventure Island entirely because pure platforming is just my strongest suit. As soon as I saw the bongos, I knew what I was expecting. That was a fun game, actually. The biggest thing I wasn't ready for was the marble game. I was expecting it to be holding straight up, but it ended up being like this way instead. So I was just I had to completely adjust my stance, and it really threw me off for the first while.
As far as Adventure Island goes, was there anything you were just having difficulty picking up on in that game?
Not really. I played Adventure Island before,
Yeah.
so I mean, like, I realized that my health bar was bigger than I thought it was. Like, as long as I get hit by boulders, because I do 4 health of damage for some reason. But like, once I understood that I could take some hits without totally getting owned, it was really just a matter of going fast when I could, comfortably still, and then being patient. Of course, on the ice level, it didn't help me too much because you couldn't really get a running start on the slippery slope. So I had to kind of like memorize the placement of the enemies and stuff, and just play from there. Also, I took the crank in 2-2 at the end.
So, Boney, I'm going to ask you this now. So, we talked a bit about what you kind of look for in a good mystery tournament game, but how do you go about finding them? I mean, we've had so many mystery tournaments now that it's getting difficult to kind of find games that nobody's played. So, how did you find these 3 games?
So for these, I mostly just looked at more recent consoles, mainly because, some of that stuff won't appear in the online mystery tournaments. Looking at newer stuff, really. I started there, and fortunately, it was fairly easy to find new ideas from some of the consoles that I looked at and that we saw today. And obviously, we wanted to reduce setup time as much as possible, so having everything playable on Wii was nice. We had a GameCube, a Wii, and a WiiWare title, so that was convenient. And I guess beyond that, I don't even know when I thought of Jungle Beat, but we had to do it. When you think of something that wacky that's doable, why not? You just got to do it.
And Sent, you're involved in a lot of the game selection as well for these mystery tournaments. I mean, it's a huge job, but for the online mystery tournaments, the players actually submit the games, and it's this guy and his team that actually goes through and plays them all.
Yeah, and I'd actually like to give a huge shout outs to Crystallic Chaos and Four Deathly, because without them, very manageable by myself back when we maybe had 100 games to worry about.
Yeah.
I think, now we average like 2,000 games a mystery tournament.
Andy, one more question for you. So, in mystery tournaments, typically you can't see where your opponent is. In this one, you could just glance over and see. Put yourself in the shoes of yourself, not having that luxury. Do you think you'd be nervous at all, or would you be able to just kind of think, you know what, maybe he's making mistakes too?
In the other games, like Donkey Kong Jungle Beat and the freaking Marble Mania, I was pretty okay with. When I started tilting a little bit on 2-2, I kind of got a little bit nervous, but I'm usually pretty calm most of the way through. I just, like I said, just take a deep breath, relax. You're still playing a fun video game. Enjoy it.
Got it. I want to talk a little bit about Mystery Tournament 10, also known as MTX, and then we'll just take some questions from you guys. So, as far as Mystery Tournament 10 goes, this looked so. Let me put kind of the persona on of somebody who's never been in a mystery tournament before, right? Okay. Okay. So, Boney, this looks so fun. How can I join one of these myself?
How can you join one?
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to say the site because it'll probably crash. But basically, the process is, I mean, you'll just fill out a brief form. You'll tell us your availability and whatnot. Really, the way the whole thing works is we will just allow you to play your opponent whenever you two want to. We have a lot of staff members involved, so the process is very easy. You can play pretty much whenever you want to. Of course, we do have round deadlines, and it does help to submit games as well. The game pool that we use for the entire tournament is created by the players. So basically, you're usually required to submit your own games and goals and whatnot, and obviously supply any important information they need to know about setting it up, as well as actual content related to the game itself. But beyond that, beyond submitting games and just filling out some basic information, that's really all you need to do. Talk to your opponents when your rounds are scheduled, set up your matches. We'll give you your game a couple minutes before you start your race, and then you just play and have fun, hopefully.
Yeah,
That's the plan.
but as Johnny Q stream viewer, I work a 9 to 5. I don't have the time.
Not a problem.
Why not?
We'll always be able to find time for you and your opponent, because we'll always have someone around, so there you go.
You have Persona off. You have 3 days to schedule a time with your players, so you do have time. My other concern is I'm really bad at games. I don't want to have to lose 2 rounds in a row.
You never know what's going to happen. Even if you're convinced you'll go 0-2, it's not guaranteed. You might get a game you're really good at, but even if you don't, let's say you do go 0-2, hopefully you'll have fun anyway. You'll just approach it from a kind of a casual standpoint. And you know, again, one of my favorite things about the mystery tournament, and I think a lot of people will agree with this, you're going to find some really obscure, cool games that you've never heard of. You're going to find your Koro Rinpo and Marble Mania or something like that. I mean, you've never heard of that before the tournament, but you'll get something like that probably. And hopefully you'll like it. You're going to find some cool stuff. So whether you want to compete and go for the gold or just have fun and play some cool games, there's always something in there for you.
But you have to submit games to join,
I don't
right?
like Johnny Q.
I
like Bucky.
I don't know I don't know enough games to submit. How do I submit games? I don't know when I don't know how to submit.
So yeah, I guess a lot of the starting points for people are to just kind of think back to your childhood and look at some of the old classics you might be familiar with, and you can find something in there. But even if you're not interested in looking into that library, my personal pick are freeware games, just random free games you'll find on the PC, mainly because there are so many of those that just no one has heard of, and sometimes they're difficult to find, but at the same time, there are just a ton of indie game databases that you can find. You can look at places like those. You can look at hidden gem lists as well. A lot of sites will list like, top 10 hidden gems on whatever console, and I mean...
It's important to expand on that you don't necessarily have to just do, the classic games. You really can add your own spin on it. I think one of the favorite races I've seen in the past few mystery tournaments was Mario Kart No Going Right.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
So, I mean, you heard it here. Mystery Tournament X is coming up. Join Mystery Tournament 10.
Join MTX.
Join it. Join MTX.
Join
it.
Mystery Tournament. To everyone out there who thinks that they can't do it, you can do it. Join MTX. To everyone out there who thinks, man, this Andy guy's a chump and I can dumpster him, join MTX
Join
to prove
MTX.
it.
It'll be easy, I promise.
If you want to get speedrunning, if you want to just play games with folks, join MTX.
Join MTX.
And like we said, even if you go 0-2, you can join other people's races. It's
Yeah,
still fun.
that's very true.
Just play games. You
A
get to
lot
have
of people
fun.
like doing that, yeah. Yeah, join as many matches as you want. It's up to you.
All right, well, I think we're just about ready to wrap it up here. Andy, final words for everyone out there at home who just watched you take first place in Mystery Tournament at AGDQ. What do you have to say to them?
First of all, join MTX. Second of all, thank you everyone, all my friends, for supporting me in my journey to the big stage. I love every one of y'all.
All right, that's it.
Stuff.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and let's send it back to the front.
All right. Thank you, James, so much for hosting. I'm Ed O'Bean. I'm now going to be here for a little bit. So we first got a $100 donation, anonymous. I've lost my grandmother and all great-grandparents to cancer, and I've already started my own screenings. Cancer knows no age limit, so take care of yourselves. Thank you, Agent Aquarius, for your $250 donation. It's not a dream. I'm watching the Kirby's Dreamland 3 run. Reader's Challenge. Name the 6 animal friends in the game. There's no money in the line, so no pressure. Well, you got Pitch, you got Koo, you got Rick, you got Kine, you got Chew, and you got Nago. There you go. That's all your animal friends. If you didn't know who they were, now you do. All right, we're gonna go ahead and break away for a ad for you guys. All right, and we're gonna go ahead and throw it over to our run of Kirby's Dream Line 3 with SwordsmanKirby and Suzuri.
All right, hey everyone. All right, so let's get started. So let's start in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so this is Kirby's Dream Land 3. As the donation comment alluded to, there are 6 animal friends. You see 2 of them in this cutscene. And to get the best ending, there's an objective in each of these levels. And I'm Gooey. So this run will be co-op. It makes the run a little bit safer and at the same time harder, and you'll see why later. So you can do all sorts of silly things with Kirby and Gooey.
So here in the first level, it's very simple. It's not very many threats facing these 2 here. Some very peaceful greens they're going through.
Yeah,
Something to note early on is that momentum is very strange in this game. The way they move has a lot to do with how much running they've had moving up to the certain spot they're in. If they hit a wall or just start to puff up and fly, they lose all of their momentum.
And one thing about inhaling enemies, if you do it on the ground, you're going to lose all your momentum, but if you do it in the air and you spin them out in the air, it's fine. So the objective of that level was to not crush any of the flowers. So this flower will give us a heart star piece. And we need to collect one in each level, and each level has a unique objective.
At the end of each level, they have this mini game just called jumping, and they can easily replenish their health, especially since they have 2 chances at it, as opposed to a single player run, which we only have 1.
And if you get the maximum tomato, it's shared between the 2 players, so both of them go to full health.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first instance of animal friends. This is Choo Choo.
She's the best girl.
And Gooey's just third wheeling at this point.
So both Kirby and Gooey have the ability to co-op or attach to the animal buddy, but obviously it can only be 1 person at a time.
Yeah, Choo Choo can sort of do these multiple jumps in the air and stick to ceilings. And for this level in particular, the multiple jumps is extremely helpful. Oops. And if Gooey gets too far away, he'll get warped back. And that's actually used for some skips that we'll see later on.
Gooey's health is not as important as Kirby's health because he can be recreated at any moment. But the consequence of having Gooey and Kirby at the same time is that Kirby has 1 less health bar.
Oh.
And they both got the 1 up. Nice.
It's a little bit precise to get these, so sometimes we miss. So far this has been a pretty relaxing game, I guess. And right now we're going to see why this is so notorious of a speed game.
So this is Ku the Owl. Ku is by far the fastest method of travel in this game, and the speed at which Ku travels is directly proportional to how fast you're mashing the fly button. So the task for this game is like constantly mashing, and Ku just zooms through the levels. It's actually it's very crazy. And unfortunately, there are limits on how much a human can mash. And not only that, but you get tired, especially going through the whole game.
Here's another instance where co-op is actually better for this because you have a mini game in each of these worlds, and this one you actually have to figure out which one he just threw. And it doesn't matter as long as someone gets the first one right or gets the one right. You both get to move on, and you need to get 3 here to pass.
So I'm gonna clear out these roughs that are sort of in the way. And that allows Kirby with Ku to go straight to the exit.
Normally, if you try to use Kirby to inhale those boars, you would get stuck and get crushed by the screen.
Yeah, so Gooey definitely can't catch up, so he's just gonna be constantly warped throughout the whole run.
We have a $30 donation from Sarisa Senshi that says, "Hey, AGDQ, the Kirby series has always brought me so much joy, so I had to donate during this block. Thank you for this event and supporting such a great cause."
Oops. Accidentally killed myself. Sorry. We're going to take this middle path because it has invincibility candy. It allows you to just go straight through these blocks. Oh. Oh, we need stone here. All right, there we go. Sorry, I stole it. So this mini boss fight, the reason why Gooey's not out, you could be attacking with both, but the boss has very long invincibility frames, so it's faster to just have one. And when Gooey's out, both players do less damage. So for all these mini boss fights, we're going to be doing them single player. Ooh, that's not good. So each time Kirby spawns Gooey, it takes away 1 bar of health. And actually, when Kirby's riding Ku, there's no actual way of breaking it while staying on Ku. So Gooey being there to help saves a little bit of time.
Unfortunate part of using Ku throughout a lot of the run is that your hitbox is expanded greatly upwards for the size that Ku is there. So if something hits Ku, it hurts Kirby as well.
Yeah, this is different from Dreamland 2, where that game practically doesn't even have hitboxes.
It was very good. They got the maximum tomato there, replenish their health. It's very easy to take a lot of damage very quickly in this game because Kirby has very little iframes, and when you get hit by someone, you lose your momentum and get stuck basically.
Yeah, it's really easy to take just several hits in quick succession. This is Kine. We just need Kine to finish the level. That's the whole objective. So in each of these levels, the first level of each world will have something to do with flowers, and this is the 5th level of the world. And it'll always involve an animal friend just exiting the level. And for this one, it's pretty easy. You just find Kine in the level and just exit. But later on, it'll be tougher.
Kind's special ability, by the way, is he can just swim really fast, and he can also just jump on top of enemies safely.
Oh. There's a 6-frame window for hitting each of those squares. So about 1/10 of a second.
So here you're seeing them go back to 1-3, and this is for the express purpose of picking up Ku again. Ku is so much faster than normal traveling that it's worth it to go back into levels just to pick him back up.
Yeah. The game sort of discourages you from flying on the ceiling the whole time by placing a lot of annoying enemies there, but it's still pretty easy to take care of them. So there's this 1-tile gap here. With all the animal friends, you are bigger than 1 tile, so you can't actually squeeze through. So normally you would have to get off of Ku if you're doing a 1-player run, but in this case, it's faster to just use GUI. This is sort of an annoying 1-tile gap here. Oh, sorry.
If you're caught even a little bit by just even a few pixels on either side of those platforms, you're not going to fall through.
And the reason why we switched places there, I took Ku for a little while, is because of the warping that happens. Yeah, falling down without Ku is actually faster than trying to flap downwards. I'm just casually warping behind him. Oops. Oh well.
It's okay. GUI will be fine.
Yep.
So because they collected all the heart stars in the world, Wispy Woods will now have a special animation at the end of his fight. And of course, they got rid of GUI for the fight because they do reduce damage again as a co-op team. And not only that, but the reason they're using Ku and Clean at this moment is because it actually does some of the most damage in the game. Abilities actually do different amounts of damage depending on the animal partner and the ability you have. And Clean is by far one of the best.
All right, we're gonna switch just to alleviate each other of the mashing.
Mm-hmm.
So now would be a good time for some more donations.
All right, we got a $30 donation from Evil Clerk that says, always love seeing games I love to play as a kid again. Done quick or not, SNES for life. We have also a $50 donation from ST Squiggles that just says, Booyah! I'm like really bad right now. I have a $50 donation from DigiColts that says, yo, my second favorite Kirby game. It's cool to finally see this one live. Thanks again to the runners, staff, announcers, and everyone behind this for another great event. Psst. Also, vote for Edward Ember Pants for Dark Souls 3.
All right, so this is Pitch. With the Clean ability, Pitch turns into a bucket of water, and that'll be useful for this Heart Star piece.
So the objective of this level is that they have to go around watering a bunch of flowers to make them spring to life, like that. It's actually a lot trickier than it seems. The trajectory and angle of the water bucket is kind of finicky.
Yeah, plus you can't crush the flowers. If you water a flower twice, that counts as crushing it. And you have to restart the whole level.
Mm-hmm.
The hitbox for Pitch constantly changes throughout the jump animations. That's just like another little thing to be aware of. All right, we're good here.
It's actually very scary to fail one of these objectives, especially in the later levels where you have to go really deep into the level to get to what you need to do.
Oops. My bad. Yeah, Gooey can't go on further. He just has to wait for Kirby to catch up.
So they no longer need pitch, so they left them to enjoy this tropical paradise.
The running speed of all the animal friends is the same as Kirby, so there's no need to keep pitch longer than we have to. Oops, I missed. Luckily you got it. Yeah, the second level of each world involves using a power-up in a creative way. Oops. Sorry. Oh. Here's an instance of inhaling and spitting out enemies in the air to avoid losing momentum. So here's Kine again. And like Ku, mashing the air, to move fast, you mash hard in the water.
Very nice.
All right. So this guy's got a parasol on his head, so we do the same.
And we need to show him he's not alone in the world as
Yep.
someone with a parasol on his head. And he's really happy about that.
Yep. All right, so actually for World 2, the star of the show is Kine. So this entire world is filled with water levels, so it's faster to keep Kine throughout it. All right.
We have a $30 donation from Anonymous that says, Kirby is awesome. AGDQ and the Preventing Cancer Foundation are awesome too. They're helping doctors speed on cancer in real life by destroying it as soon as it spawns. Give my love to my boyfriend Jordan, who introduced me to AGDQ, and my money to save the animals and comfort the final boss.
This is another one of those guessing mini games. This one's arguably the easiest of the three. Basically, this eel is going to pop up and down, and you just need to choose the correct one. What? I couldn't remember which one I was.
Easiest one, he says.
Yes, easiest one. Alright, easy, like I said. So one small optimization is that GUI is actually closer to the door. And this is going to be another auto-scroller, so it'll be good time for more donations.
Sure thing. We have another anonymous $200 donation that says, longtime watcher, first-time donator. Love all the work everyone does for these events. My money goes to Runner's Choice. We have another $200 donation from Anonymous that says, do the thing. And I already know what they want me to do, so let me try this again. I can't even do it. Pooya! There you go. I did the thing. We have Pidge0 who donates $25 that says, Zuzuri, you are awesome. We have a $5 donation from Scorm E that says, sorry, money is tight, but I'll double this for a Pollo from Edovine. Pollo! Sorry. I'm not at the best of my strength today. Michael Paromor donates $50 that says, I lost my mother last year, and while it wasn't to cancer, the sudden passing of a loved one is nothing anyone should experience. Best of luck to all the runners in their endeavors. Also, GUI hype.
All right, we're just going to take the needle here. Like who, the faster you mash in the water with Kine, the faster you go. Alright. The reason why he's removing himself, there's a mini boss coming up, but also when you have 2 players on the screen, the camera angle changes and affects when those big cannonballs spawn. All right, another auto scroller. Yeah.
So normally in this area, the game expects you to have Kine and Spark.
Yes.
So what that combination gives you is a light bulb that Kine holds in the mouth and allows you to light up the area.
And it'll show this hidden door right here.
But you don't actually need the light bulb to enter the door. It's just there to show you it exists.
That is Captain Stitch. The only time you can hurt him is when he doesn't have his spikes, like right now. Oops. Nice.
Nice
Alright,
one, Psycho.
I got good luck there. Let's get this little frog in here. Ooh, nice. Thanks.
So this area is not as simple as it looks. The waterfalls that are falling down the screen actually do push you down and sap some of your momentum. So you have to time your jump in such a way that you actually clear the enemies that are walking towards you.
Nice.
Oh, got it. Nice.
We have a $50 donation from Deco that says, "Hey, you guys are pretty cool. Here's 50 bucks."
Getting bitten by one of these sharks takes forever. The animation. Oh. Luckily, he was there to save me, but that animation just takes forever, and there's a ton of sharks in that room. All right, so we actually need to keep Kine, but there's a 1 tile gap coming up. And normally, the way you do it with 1 player is to get 2 different power-ups and break these blocks below me, but we're just going to warp past it like this. Oops, I got stuck. This game.
So
This game prioritizes inhaling blocks rather than enemies, so a lot of times you just inhale the enemy instead. Or sorry, the block instead. Alright, so the reason why we needed to keep Kine is because of this water section here. There are these currents, and in order to fight this one, you need to mash with Kine to get past it. And in here is Pitch. And you can't actually just bring Pitch in from a different level because there are more currents to even get to this point that you need Kine for. So this is the only level where to even progress, you need Kine.
A lot of these objectives are very puzzly. A lot of people who play this game for the first time probably miss a good chunk of these objectives because it's not very well hinted what you're supposed to do. You're basically given a picture of a person you're supposed to help and figure it out.
And some of them really are just trial and error. It's beating me in the mashing game. Oops. So let's get rid of my power up here. Oh. Oops. Sorry. Sorry. Alright, we're pretty much safe. Pitch has this weird momentum thing where if you float up with Pitch and then try to inhale something, your horizontal speed is whatever you started with before you were floating. Alright. So this is going to have less water. We're going to go all the way back to the first world just to get Ku. And there's Ku actually appears in the next level, but still turns out to be slower than backtracking all the way over here. All right. Whoops.
We have a $100 donation from Jacob Laurel that says, "Yay AGDQ, yay Kirby, boo cancer."
Alright, gonna get clean here. This is one of those trial and error puzzles.
There's really no way to know which path is the correct one without just trying it.
Yeah, so Ku and water, once again, the same rules about mashing applies. We'll actually see that pretty prominently later on. This is one of these puzzles. In a different room, it tells you what shape you have to make. Using clean there is pretty tough, so I'll just finish it off. And in this room right here, it tells you to make a diamond. I really hate this room. It's just a bunch of enemies.
Trying to control Ku back and forth going up that room is definitely very difficult because of the way the momentum works. You mash a little bit too much in one direction and you're flying into an enemy.
Yeah, Ku, unlike Dreamland 2, where it's just simply 8-directional, it's very strange. You could be holding down in one direction, but then moving, drifting slightly elsewhere. What? Oh, my bad. I'm supposed to do this. That's why we got clean in the first place. I'm going to take it a little bit slow here. Wait for him to turn around. The direction that Acro is facing determines which way he'll start moving. And it's a little bit better for him to move this way. Basically, everything that Acro is doing right now is random. But I wanted him to hit the wall as quickly as possible.
Very nice. Very nice fight.
Yeah, if you lose your power up, the fight just takes forever, and it's really easy to do it underwater here.
There's no way to inhale the power up again while you're still holding Q, or even as solo Kirby. So once you lose it, it's just really bad.
Yeah, exactly. And this is like a typical reset point if you're doing runs. All right, we're gonna switch off again for World 3. This would be a good time for another donation.
We have a $50 donation from Anonymous that says, "I love Kirby's Dreamland 3 so much, and I'm so glad to see a speed run. You guys are super awesome. Oh, can we get a Poyo from the audience?" No, no one wants to try it. I'm sorry. It's not easy. It's okay.
All right. Oh, sorry, my fault.
Now, in this one, they're supposed to be killing the flowers, probably because they're killing the mushrooms somehow, but so if you hit any of the mushrooms, you have to reset.
All right, I'm just going to try to float up the whole time. So there's another one tile gap here, so it's just faster for GUI to do it.
So they completed the objective of the level. This game actually gets really kind of morbid, that your objective is now to kill the flowers you were once trying to save.
Yep. Alright, just some safety health corner.
So something very important here with Ku and Fire is that while he's in the attack animation, Ku and Kirby are completely invincible. So they're able to move through cannons or spike traps or spike blocks.
Yeah, one important thing is that it can be interrupted at any time. So if you press Y, I guess, a second time, then it'll stop.
Mm-hmm. If they continuously keep trying to flame attack, the flame will get shorter and shorter each time. So this is the first level with these notorious enemies.
Yeah,
the
this is the game
pterodactyls.
discouraging you from flying at the ceiling, but
Yeah.
luckily he navigated through it pretty well. All right.
We have a $100 donation from Etoile Lion saying, far too quiet in the room. Give poor Edo Bean's voice a rest, audience. Let's hear your best poyos. Not bad, not bad. Cancer has affected so many lives. It's time for us to affect it instead. Thanks to everyone involved in GDQ, attending or not.
So right now I'm not going to get warped. I'm actually just using the broom ability. So whenever you're continuously in a power-up, you can't get warped. So that's why I'm not being sent back to him right now. So we're both going to have the clean ability for this objective. All right, so this character right here needs some help sweeping. And
Kirby's a very nice fellow. So is Gooey. They're gonna help out with the cleaning here.
okay.
It's actually very nice to have Gooey with the clean ability here because if you were just using Ku and Kirby, they're unable to reach the floor when they're standing on it.
And even then, not having an animal is still very finicky. If you position yourself just right, you can hit 2 of those tiles, but a lot of times you just hit 1. Maybe I just, oh, I don't have my power up. So there are more of these Terrans in the air. This next level that's coming up is just terrible in so many different ways. So luckily we're at full health going into it.
So a lot of this level is going through these very small cavern tunnels. And because Ku is so big, it's very easy to get hit by a lot of the enemies that are placed all around. And not only that, but now they have to contend with these spike blocks that are dropping on them and pushing out from the background towards them.
These crabs are deceptively hard to inhale as well. All right, here's another one of the guessing mini games. I would say it's probably the hardest of the 5. What do you guys think?
It's definitely one of the hardest ones, yes.
Yeah. Luckily,
Yeah.
we have 2 guesses for it. 5, you're saying?
I was just saying, I do agree. It's probably the hardest for me.
So we're just going to guess one off from each other, just to be totally sure. All right, so far it's going okay.
So you see there that the egg can sometimes throw in a differently shaped one, just to throw you off.
All right, okay, we got through it.
Very good. it really sucks to lose at those guessing games because you have to immediately exit out of the level and do it all over again.
I am not being helpful. Okay. There's not much going on in this level, so this would be a good time to read some donations.
All right. We have a $10 donation from Zeta Gundam ZZ that says, "Had to donate during Kirby. I love that little pink dude, and I love watching you guys play it. Money goes to Announcer's Choice for doing the Kirby voice like a pro." Oh my gosh. We have an anonymous $30 donation that says, "Thanks to all the runners. Keep up the great work." We also have a $10 donation from Symphonist that says, "Donating for Edo Bean. Save yourself and don't do the thing. Just take my money and put it towards any non-bid war incentive." Okay.
Oh, you can do some more.
No problem. We have a anonymous $20 donation that says, "I just had to donate after the Puyo. Best announcer ever. Let this donation go to Announcer's Choice." We also got a $5 donation from Kevin Durden that says, "Been watching since AGDQ 2011, which doesn't really matter, but here's $5 for Suzuri to buy a Red Bull after all his runs, both of the speed variety and of the bathroom kind he'll have after the Red Bull."
This is probably one of the worst levels because it is also trial and error just to find the right path, but it's also an auto-scroller. So if you screw up once, you just have to wait and wait to just find the right path again.
So once you get the right path, you fight the mini boss and then collect that little character. This game, some of the objectives involve characters from pretty well-known and some really obscure Japanese games. This one is like some like Japanese visual novel for the Famicom Disk System or something like that.
There's going to be people later on who are helping who are probably a little more well known.
Yep.
We have a $10.17 donation from Kane the Wanderer that says, "Donating on behalf of my mother, who bought me my first Kirby game and came out victorious in her own battle with cancer 2 years ago."
We don't need Ku, so we're just gonna drop off. It's actually, this room in particular is extremely difficult to try and navigate down with Ku, but luckily Kirby and Gooey are thin enough. Oops. You can read some more donations.
I was about to say double fire for a moment. We have a $75 donation from Anonymous that says, "I love AGDQ. Longtime watcher, first-time donator. Wanted to donate to the host with the cute voice and amazing Kirby imitation. Cancer took too much from all of us, so that's why I love this event that makes gaming beat cancer. Greetings from the Netherlands."
Uh-oh. Shouldn't be too bad. There's health later, coming up later. Okay. All right, we're safe. If you die with Kirby, your animal friend disappears, even if Gooey's riding it. All right, so the objective of this level is just to finish with Choo Choo, but this section is extremely difficult for a variety of reasons. So we're gonna try to use the warp trick again. Oops.
While you're with Choo Choo, you're unable to fly like Kirby is currently. So normally what you would have to do is climb up the side and stick to the ceiling of these smaller rooms to try and navigate.
And the fastest way to get through it involves a bunch of damage boosts. So in this section, you'll be really low in health basically all the time. All right.
Now for the probably the longest level in the game. So as soon as they get to the spaceship here, which will be very soon.
All right, just a little optimization. Really small save right there. Oops.
All right. So the objective here is to collect all the parts for Rob the Robot, and all the parts are scattered in every direction of these rooms. And each room has a separate puzzle that they need to figure out.
So in this one, it's just finding the right power-up to get to either of the doors on the two sides. The point is that only one of them should work. Like the other one will probably not reach. And we're just doing a little optimization with 2 players. Oh. Just so we can get through the door a little bit quicker. Oops. And conveniently we end with stone, which is useful for falling down quickly. Oops, that doesn't work. All right, good enough. So in this room, it's really easy to climb up. You can just, if you want, you can just float up like this. But on the way down, you can only use the blue tiles. So this is sort of a sneak peek at what the pattern's gonna be.
Also, if you do go too fast and fall off the screen, you do lose a life.
Yep. All right.
Now for the rest of the parts, they're gonna have to enlist the help of our favorite ammo buddy, Koo.
All right, so this is, in this next room, there's a water current that you normally would have to use Kind to get through, but the thing is that you can do it with Koo. Nice, that was really fast.
I can tell you, practicing that is not very fun.
So this room's in the dark. Normally, you'd have to, like the room previously, you would use Kind and Spark to light up the room, but it's always the same order, so you can just repeat the same solution.
We have a $50 donation from Anonymous that says, "Hi, SwordsmanKirby. Always great to see your Kirby speedruns. Stuck at home under a foot of snow, couldn't be happier to have an excuse to stay in and watch AGDQ. Put this towards the Contra 3 incentive, kill the aliens."
This one's with Koo, so it's really easy. Nice. Still need him. Normally you would use stone, and it's actually a really scary drop to the bottom of all those blocks. But luckily with the 2 players, we can just warp through it. these two. So as you might have noticed, we've been using GUI to pick up clean. Normally we would not end the 6th level of each world with clean. So luckily, GUI is like a mule for a single power-up. Normally we would backtrack to whichever level had a clean enemy at the very beginning. All right, that nightmare is over. So this is Rob, and this is from, I guess, Jeremite. This is PonCon. Every Dreamland game needs one of these types of bosses.
So this boss is pretty difficult because you can take a lot of damage very quickly just by trying to attack him like that. And not only that, but they just don't stop. There's no way to. They're just going to keep moving from whatever side they're on to the other side, and you just have to maneuver around them. There's also times where they don't even show up and waste some time for you.
Oh, still going.
There he is. They have very lengthy iframes, so it can be really tricky to get more than one hit in.
Yeah, it's not very fair. You get very few, but all the enemies and bosses get tons. Has to be a time for more donations.
We have a $10 donation from Cyberbot X that says, obligatory Kirby is cute donation. Gotta put this to Contra 3. We also have a $100 donation from Molten Cheeses that says, I've been trying to come up with a clever donation comment for hours now. I'll just shut up and let you take my money. Kirby Fan 9000 donates $5 saying, greetings, I've been a fan of Kirby for quite a while now. He is so cute. Never bitten Kirby's Dream Land 3 though, and these guys are blazing through it. Hype for the Superstar later as well. And remember, kill the frames, save the animals.
This is another one of those flower levels, and unlike the other ones, this one's really late into the level.
And not only that, but you need a specific ability combo in order to complete it. Luckily, it involves coup and clean, which is what we've been using a lot already. So we're able to keep coup and speed through a majority of the level.
We have a $25 donation from E Bloody Candy that says, good luck, SK and Suzuri. I hope your mashing figures were warmed up. Booyah!
Thanks, E-Blade Candy.
We have a $30 donation from Anonymous. If Edobine can rock out all those boyos, and please save your voice. Like a boss, I can squeeze in another donation. Truly inspiring on all fronts. Let's kill cancer and save the animals, along with poor Edobine's voice. Thank you.
All right, so this next room is supposed to be like auto-scroller-like, but we're going to abuse the invincibility frames that you get from fire, get past everything. Normally you'd have to wait for these boulders and like duck into a safe space. All right, so this is where we're going to clean some flowers. So all these flowers are covered in soot, and you have to use coup very carefully here. It's very, very easy to crush these flowers, and we'd have to repeat the whole level over again.
not only is it easy to crush them, but if you keep cleaning, like you hold the button for too long, it's gonna crush them as well.
All right, let's get out of here. One of the annoying parts is that there are these clouds in the foreground that are obstructing your vision. I've lost many runs to. Oh, whoops! Many runs to not being able to see it. All right, this is like the worst level in the game. It's just 2 minutes straight of mashing, so you can read more donations.
No problem. We have a $100 donation from Rajer that says, all of these animal friends remind me that there's an Undertale boss that needs a hug, and other animals that need saving. This donation goes to both endeavors. I have a $5 donation from Arctic Ike that says, my mom is a breast cancer survivor who was given 6 months to live over 20 years ago. She's still going strong. This is a great cause and very entertaining to watch. I've donated a few times already, but I keep getting sucked back in. I saw that pun. We have a $15 donation from Anonymous that says, shoutouts to Kirby and Suzuri, who proved that co-op gaming knows no language barriers, and to my wife, who wants to love that pink puffball. Kick cancer to the curb. Shadefox, thank you for your $50 donation. Kirby has been one of my favorite franchises growing up. My grandparents bought Kirby's Dream Land on a whim when I was a kid. They may have passed away from cancer years ago, but any of the Kirby games still remind me of spending time visiting with them while playing video games. Kill the saves, frame the animals.
We're almost done with this.
Rizukun donates $25. Attending GDQ events are always a joy for me, and it's wonderful to meet so many of you. This donation goes towards fighting the super hard genocide boss. Sorry, Edo. You're not sorry. You're not.
So the whole point of that level was to pop that balloon that was trapping that chick. Only Needle will pop that balloon, not Cutter or any other ability. So you have to carry Needle. Luckily it was later in the level, all the way to the end.
So right here I'm going to abuse a little bit of a... Would you call this a glitch? Entering the water after using a power-up, I preserve the same speed that I had out of the water. Normally if you use this power-up underwater, it's pretty slow, but starting it outside made it go through faster.
Not only that, but it's much shorter underwater, and you get the full length when you do that.
Right. Alright. The safe tile. Oops.
So once again, it's another guessing game. Something that we haven't noted was that these games are always completely random. So it's just something you have to grow good at, rather than memorizing a pattern.
Oh.
Oh.
Well. I have to go back and get Ku as well. I should have just exited the level, but oh well. Instead of reset. Sorry, it's my fault. Luckily, this one isn't that long to get to. The ones later on take even longer. Or the one later on takes even longer.
Mm-hmm. The one in level 5 is especially bad.
All right, go through all the water again.
We have a $40 donation from George225 that says, "Don't mind me, just spending money on an awesome event and a great cause. And a big thanks to all of those people working behind the scenes." We have a $50 donation from Angry Monkey that says, 11:30 p.m. in Germany, and I'm awful tired, but I really want to see the link to the past run. Coffee! Also, thanks to the AGDQ team and to all runners for this great event.
All right.
All right, we're through. So your reward for completing that guessing game is another auto-scroller, only this time you only have to hold right.
Yeah, so I can just stay up here
And
and
nothing
not
will
get hit
hurt
by
you?
anything. Yeah.
Mr. McCree donates $10 saying, "Do you know what I think of Kirby's animal friends? They're really cool." Money goes to Edobean's choice for the awesome players earlier. We have a $50 donation from Yuyuke saying, "Was that some double fire a couple stages ago? Glad
Oh
I was
no,
up
the
in time
door.
for the awful games block before work this morning." $50 towards a change pace and saving the frames.
All right, so this is like the equivalent of like a Howl room in other Kirby games. This is the only place where you can actually kill this enemy called a Batamon. That kind of looks like a creepy Kirby. Just a little Easter egg.
We have a $50 donation from Peter B that says, "Watch Games Done Quick for 5 years now, and this is the first time I've had money to donate since I am working for a cancer center. We'll donate another 15 if announcer reads."
Oops.
So a lot of this level is ducking and weaving while trying to maintain your mashing speed. It's a lot trickier than it seems, but the fire does help get you out of sticky situations by giving you a bunch of invincibility frames. But you have to be careful because when you finish your attack animation, you are extremely vulnerable,
Ooh.
like that.
All right, just gonna try to stay on the ceiling. All right. This fight's kind of tricky because the wind's blowing the whole time. Oops. Wow. And so that's actually an instance of doing reduced damage. Alright. So each time each time you spawn in gooey, you lose 1 health, but if you inhale gooey again, you get to get that 1 health back. And in the 1-player run, this is actually kind of an exploit where you take out a gooey when you're about to die, and then you inhale him for 1 health. And so you can always get back to, I guess, 1.5 health in this manner. But even with that exploit, it's still really easy to die. It's really easy to take 3 hits in a row.
Mm-hmm. So, personally, this is my favorite level. Beginning here is nothing special. Again, we're using Ku to just fly over everything. But we're going to be swapping out for Rick very soon here.
Oops. All right, Ku is not necessary anymore. I'm just going to drop him off there. So Rick's special ability is that he can bounce off enemies like this, but he can also climb walls.
And it's particularly tricky in this level where there are a lot of tall, narrow platforms and a lot of pits. If you're not careful, you're going to fall right into them. And that means you have to start the level over because you will no longer have Rick for the end.
So Rick's appearance in Kirby 64 is based on essentially this level.
Very nice.
I think the first time I played through this game, I spent the longest on this level.
Something that's not really visible is that in order to get a proper jump off of an enemy, you have to hold the jump button when you jump on them. Otherwise, your jump will just fall short.
This level alludes to the upcoming boss with all the drawings on the wall. So one weird thing about the sliding over a one-tile gap like this is that it sort of cancels at the end of it. That's like a little bit of a time save there. I can't stress how important it is to have fire at this point in the run. This is our best friend, Ku.
We have a $35 donation from Chess from Age saying, taking the opportunity while my favorite announcer is at the helm to round my total donations out to an even 500. Maybe, just maybe, she'll finally read this one, and maybe, just maybe, it's more Kirby impressions for you. Pretty, pretty please, with an inflatable pink protagonist on top. Donation goes to her choice as long as it's an incentive, not a bid war. You're all awesome. P.S. to Suzuri, あなたはとてもすごいです。頑張って。ありがとう、ありがとう。
Oops, this is barely doable. Best friend, clean. Second best friend. Oh, okay. So now the pictures start coming to life. And that's what this next boss is coming up is going to be about. Oops, whatever. So this upcoming boss might be familiar for Kirby 64 players. I know, Cass, you don't necessarily agree, but I think it's the same character from Kirby 64.
I think they're different.
What?
I think they're different. So Addo here paints a bunch of bosses that were found in Dreamland 2 in order to try and take you down. they all have similar patterns to what they did there. And like you would expect, a drawing is easily cleaned up by clean.
There's a specific quick kill for this boss. If you play Dreamland 2 or watch the speedrun of it, it's it's just as quick. This is Krako. This is the I guess most random part of this fight. There are 3 specific attacks that Krako can do. Oops. All right, this one's so bad. Now Adeline's very weak. Yeah, so the entire fight in Kirby 64 is a reference to that fight. Now would be a good time for more donations.
Sure thing. We have a $1,000 donation from MacChop. Hello, everyone at AGDQ. It's wonderful that this marathon both supports cancer research and shows that gamers do care. The first half of my donation goes to the super hard genocide boss. As for the other half, kill those dirty animals. I've waited a long time to say that.
So
Well, oh no, go right ahead. You're all good.
thanks. Level 5 here is actually very difficult. They ramped up the difficulty in this world quite a lot. It's very easy to not only fail objectives, but just to flat out die to a lot of the obstacles they put in front of you. So,
Yeah,
like
but-
every other world, this is a objective that involves a flower. Here, all the flowers have been frozen solid, and so you need to defrost them by hitting them with the fire power-up. But like the flowers in the previous level, if you hit them again the second time, they're gonna die, and you'll fail the objective.
Oh,
Like that.
okay, that was completely right as you said it. Luckily, it doesn't take too long to get to this point.
We have a $100 donation from Knight088, another GDQ, and another chance to donate money to help stop cancer. Love watching the events and doing my part. Keep up the great work, all the runners, announcers, tech people, and everyone else that makes this possible.
All right, there we go. So, your health after defeating a boss is the same when you enter the next world. So this level in particular can be tricky just because you're going to be at low health. You're probably going to be at low health when you come into it.
Yeah, fighting Krako in the previous world is not that easy. He can hit you quite a lot. Especially since he has no... He just doesn't stop his pattern when he moves.
Mm-hmm. So you might get a sneak peek about what this level's about. So we're gonna get ice during this auto scroller. You can read some donations here.
All right. We got a $50 donation from Swift Cease saying, Kirby! Unfortunately, my grandfather passed away to cancer in 2009. Let's destroy cancer. Save those animals. They aren't just pixels. We also have an anonymous $50 donation saying, Kirby is the best balloon ever. I love it when Kirby says, hi! I lost my mom to liver cancer a couple years ago, though, and life has been so heavy since then. But amazing events like GDQs help me get through. Thanks to all the runners, event staff, tech crew, audience, donators, watchers, and anyone else involved for making this the best week ever.
Alright, so that's the last chance to get ice in this level before you get to this part. Obviously, there's no ice in a volcano. The objective of this is to freeze some Metroids. And in each of these rooms, the number of Metroids increases.
The Metroids don't actually do any damage to you, but they will latch onto you and try to suck your energy out like that. You don't actually have to knock them into the lava afterwards. They just have to be frozen for the objective to be completed.
Oops. You can read some more donations during this part here.
No problem. We got a $10 donation from RyN233 saying, "Greetings from South Africa. This is my first time donating. The runners are truly awe-inspiring. Good luck with the rest of the event and kill the animals." Swampy donates $50 saying, "Have spent the week watching from Australia trying to beat the summer heat. I wish it was kind of warm. Thanks to all the runners for the entertainment and save the animals."
And when you know it, it was Samus who we were trying to help.
Oops.
We have a $20 donation from Anonymous saying, "Cute announcer, cute game, cute speedrunners, cute boyos."
Parasol is really good for clearing out a bunch of annoying obstacles in the air.
It's not something you want to continuously use though, because you do slow down every time you do the spinning attack.
Oops.
So this is another guessing game level, and to me it's one of the worst ones. Chef Kawasaki, coming up, is going to drop a bunch of Gardos, and they're each going to produce a different sound, and he's going to want you to pick out a specific sound from the ones that drop. So when they get to that game, it would be appreciated if they could have some silence so they can listen to the puzzle. And obviously, if you fail it, you have to go through this entire auto-scroller each time. So it's one of the costly, most costly levels to mess up on. All right, here we go.
Okay. Do this again. All right.
We have a $75 donation from Star Warrior saying, "Just had to donate to my all-time favorite series. To all the runners, announcers, organizers, donors, and watchers alike, keep up the good work."
What's coming up next is probably my least favorite level in the entire run.
You said that about 3 of them already.
They're all bad for different reasons, in my opinion. All right, for this room, you just go straight down. If you go a little bit, like any amount to the left or right, these, I don't even know what these enemies, Galvos, will wake up and shoot at you. Oop.
We have an anonymous $10 donation saying, I've never seen a Kirby game before. This is so cute. It's a joy to be watching this run and to hear the announcer's great hoyos. Money towards fighting the super hard genocide boss because we're going to need to have a bad time to balance things out.
Alright, I got through it. It's fine. So you do need to keep Ku and Fire here in order to break these ice blocks. And you actually do need to have Ku specifically in order to break the ice blocks that are below you to enter this room here. No other animal friend can combo in such a way that your fire attack goes downward.
Alright, this is a little bit of a new strat. He's going to get off Ku right there. And even though you need Ku later on, we'll find Ku over here. It's just a slight bit faster. Oh. Oops. Then keeping Ku. Okay. Didn't see myself grab it. This mini boss is really terrible because of these. First of all, he can camp in the corner like that, which is not great. And then he can keep throwing his heads, and you need to defeat.
This is
Man, that's some
really
great luck.
bad luck. Now he's on the other corner.
All right. Unbelievably awful mini boss.
So what SK was saying there was that the mini boss can't be damaged until his head is back on his lower body. So when he starts shooting out the heads, you have to get rid of them in order to like just get a chance at another pattern.
This is the animal friend level. It involves Nago, but Nago is actually nowhere to be found in the whole level, so we need to backtrack.
It's actually unique in that way, in that it's impossible to find the animal friend you need in the level that's needed in. And not only that, but it's an extremely long level, and if you lose Nago at any point, mostly by dying, then you gotta restart the whole thing all over again. As you can see, it's Nago's a really big cat, and a lot of these areas have very low ceilings, so it can be tricky to navigate around the enemies.
We have a $30 donation from Sergeant Smack that says, longtime watcher, first time donator. Thank you to all the runners for all the great games and fun over the week. Had to donate so I could hear more of my favorite announcer. Good luck, runners, and don't forget, kill the animals.
Oh. As you can see, you can just take a chain of hits and die very easily. Okay.
So Naga's special ability, which isn't showing a whole lot here, but you'll see it here, is that Naga's able to triple jump.
We have a $45 donation from Captain Kirk that says, putting in my bid to kill the aliens in Contra 3 because aliens are animals too. We also have a $20 donation from Shodue saying, glad to have a chance to donate during Edo Bean's shift hosting. Don't worry, I won't ask you to stretch your voice again. Instead, money goes towards announcer's choice, so long as it isn't towards a bidding war. No one likes bid wars, apparently. I'll donate another 10 if you pronounce my name right. I hope I did. Shodue? I hope so.
Alright. Nago and Clean is this washcloth thing. Even though it doesn't really go that fast, it's actually a very safe ability for the previous room and this room coming up. It'll be useful in level afterwards. We're gonna skip this first Zebon here. Saves about a second.
Very nice, very nice.
All right. So that was the enemy rush. This upcoming level is the mini boss rush. And you'll need to capture the power up from each of these mini bosses. And if you mess any of those up, you have to start the whole level over again.
We have a $5 donation from Chickbox that says, my sleep schedule is so messed up because of GDQ, but I wouldn't have it any other way. This is my 3rd year watching, but first time donating, and I'm happy I can contribute to the cause this time around. Good luck to all the runners, and can't wait for Undertale.
They have to be really careful and make sure that they grab the feather, which is the objective of this level, to grab the feather in each stage, and before they go through the door. Otherwise, it's a restart. And what they're using here is Choo-Choo and Broom, or Clean, in order to make a magical flying Choo-Choo broom. The end of the broom actually does a ton of damage, similar to the Feather Duster with Ku.
Normally, if you do this one player, you'd have to actually use the abilities you get. But since we got a second controller, we don't need to do any of that. We can just keep Choo-Choo and Broom. It kills all these mini bosses in 2 hits. Oh, maybe 3. Oops, I'm not supposed to be here.
We have a $75 donation from Unsung that says, loving the runs and glad I had a chance to catch most of the awful block last night. Hope you're having as much fun running as I enjoy watching.
All right, we're out of there.
Nice.
Nice. So if you didn't collect all the Heart Star pieces, DED would be the end of the run, but we're actually gonna get the better ending. So each of these phases, if you use Choo Choo and Broom, it takes 4 hits. Once again, if you've played Kirby 64, the DED fight looks pretty much like this, except this one's a lot harder. All right, nice fight. Shoutouts to Yoshi's Island.
So now that they've collected all the heart stars and purged the 5 levels of all this black stuff that's been shooting out, the 6th world is now unlocked, where they get to confront the source of all this dark matter. One final switch.
All right, so this boss has 3 phases. As it turns out, we're actually going to be using GUI for part of it, even though for all the other previous fights we've been doing it pretty much solo. But for this first phase, we're just going to do it solo Kirby. So either the hearts that shoot out, or if you actually hit with the rod, does damage.
You don't actually have to hit him with a projectile. The animation of swinging the rod is enough to damage him.
All right. So now this is, for whatever reason, the second phase has less invincibility frames, so having GUI actually helps, even with the reduced damage. So the second phase can do one of 3 attacks. It could dive at you like that. That's the annoying one. Or it can shoot out these little dark matters, or bleed at you. Oh.
You can also do this, where it charges at you and then starts firing stuff from the background.
Oops. I haven't seen the blood one. All right. Now we're on the third phase. It's just an eye. And we're just going to circle around it like this. And time's coming up soon. And time. So depending on if GUI is active, they'll show up in this final cutscene. And we'll have the time on that.
It's 1:27:23.
What was that?
1:27:23.
All right, that's good enough.
That's pretty good, actually.
All right. I just want to give a shout out to Dreamland 3 runners, people like Kukazoo who really pushed this game. Yeah, I don't really have much to say. These credits are really nice, so if you don't get to see all of it, you should go look it up on your own time.
I'd like to give a quick shout out to everyone who was involved in the JRTA marathon. people who organized it, runners who were in it, people who donated, people who watched. The JRTA Marathon was a marathon that the community held to bring Suzuri and Honky here to AGDQ. And thanks to the generous support of all the community, they're here now and running these games for you and running these games for charity. So thank you very much.
Fantastic job, SwordsmanKirby and Suzuri, for your Kirby's Dream Land 3 co-op run. We're going to go ahead and take a quick little break with a commercial.